Good evening, everyone. Notice of this meeting stated the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Copies of the agenda are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Mr. Clerk, can you please conduct a prayer and flag salute?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask all the council members to please stand once again for a moment of silence in honor of our former councilman, Monty Brooks, who has passed away. Please be seated. In the event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign it on the white sheets provided in the front of the room with your name and address. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate. If you must take a call, please leave the council chambers to do so. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ormond.
Here.
Javik.
Present.
Caldwell.
Here.
Mohammed.
Present.
Rivas.
Present.
Roman.
Here.
Strano.
Here.
Blaine.
Here.
Medina.
Here.
Hudak.
Here.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Here.
A quorum exists.
Okay, can we have approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 20th, 2023, please?
Council President, could I have approval of the meeting minutes for June 2023 and ask for a second?
Second.
Mrs. Ormond.
Yes.
Javik.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Mohammed.
Yes.
Rivas.
Yes.
Roman.
Yes.
Strano.
Yes.
Blaine.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Yes. Okay, Mayor Armstead, we have a proclamation for Olga Plummer. Will you please join me down on the floor? Olga?
Well, good evening, everybody. You can pretty much rest assured that in any organization, I don't care whether it's a PTA, Mayor's Youth Commission, any group or club, there's always 1 or 2 people who somehow do all the work and make things happen. People you can count on through thick and thin, come hell or high water, you can count on them. And one such person is Olga Plummer. You know, she's been there, I don't know, it's been a long time, Olga. Since I've been here, okay, okay.
Almost, what, 18 years?
Yes, a long time, and like I said, whether it's baseball, Mayor's Youth Commission, PTA, she's always rolled up her sleeves and gotten there and got the job done, and we're so thankful. And she's a cancer survivor, she's a cancer fighter, and we're just so proud of her. For all that she does for our town. And I'm particularly thankful for the work and time that you put in for the Mayor's Youth Commission, because you do a great job for me. And when you do a good job for me, it makes me look good. So that's a lot. Maybe I'm a little selfish, okay, but it's okay. So without any further ado, we did a proclamation, and it's going to be read by Sandy Vasquez.
I wanted to read
She
it,
wanted to read it, so
but he has to come in at the end
you should have
because
seen the fight we had over this event.
I'm not the mayor. So he'll have to come in at the end. But Olga, you are an inspiration. You really are to all of us. You always are there. I call you up, I need rice and beans. And you make it. She does that for the crisis intervention team, a special needs picnic every year. No one knows that's Olga's good food. You haven't missed a project graduation. I can't remember a project graduation without you. Even this past, where you weren't feeling so well and your family was fighting you. They didn't want you to go for your safety, but they wouldn't let her go on the bus. She normally went on the bus, but she was there. She stayed longer than most people, and I really love you, and I'm so happy that I was able to serve on so many committees with you. So I'm going to read this proclamation. I hope I do it justice. Whereas Olga Plummer was born in San Salvador, El Salvador, Central America. Olga migrated to the United States on May 29, 1983, where she would become a U.S. citizen in 1990. Olga attended Locust Middle School and Abraham Clark High School in Roselle. While in school, Olga worked as a babysitter. Olga was no stranger to hard work. After high school, Olga took the workforce by storm as an employee at a plastic factory and then went on working as an engraving operator for almost 10 years at Allstate Legal Supply. And whereas Olga met her husband, Steve, by taking a chance and going on a blind date that had been arranged by her cousin and best friend. Olga and Steve got married in December of 1993 at the tender age of 23 and 24. Olga and Steve lived in Elizabeth for 5 years before moving to Roselle for 3 years. Olga and Steve made their final move to Linden in June of 2001, where they became proud homeowners. Olga has 3 sons, Brian, Nicholas, and Andrew. And whereas Olga's sons have all attended and graduated from School 2, McManus Middle School, and Linden High School. Olga was a member of the PTA and later became the secretary at School Number 2. Olga helped organize several events such as Spooky Harvest, the Christmas Festival, walkathons, Spring Egg Hunt, and Fun Day for 11 years. Olga was so involved with the PAL baseball and Linden Pop Warner football teams. Olga was the secretary for the PTA at McManus for 4 years and then PTA secretary at Linden High School, where she assisted with Linden High School's Tricky Tray, which is one of the biggest and most successful fundraisers since 2012. And whereas Olga has been involved with the Linden Baseball Parents Association from 2012 to 2023. Olga has been volunteering for the Mayor's Youth Commission since 2015 and has served on the Mayor's Youth Commission Scholarship Committee and Project Graduation Committee. I gotta throw that in there. And whereas Olga is a 2-time cancer survivor since being diagnosed in 2011. Olga would have reached 10 years of being cancer-free, but unfortunately, Olga was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer on October 31st, 2022. Since then, she has had to undergo a hip replacement and radiation therapy. Olga is currently receiving chemotherapy, which she attends weekly. Olga has had some additional challenges, which included a bad infection on her port that resulted in it having replaced, along with a very low blood count that resulted in her treatment being delayed for a month and a half. But as of lately, things have begun to look better for Olga. And whereas Olga's amazing support system consists of her husband, Stephen, her 3 sons, Brian, Nicholas, and Andrew, her daughter-in-law, sisters, brothers, mother, and dear friends. Olga is appreciative of them and thanks them from the bottom of her heart for being by her side on this journey and for that she promises never to give up. Okay, Mayor, you're up. I can't read this part.
Now therefore be proclaimed that I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, in the state of New Jersey, on this 18th day of July, 2023, I am honored to recognize Olga Plummer for her hard work and dedication in Linden's school system, the Mayor's Youth Commission, and the role she has played in our community, and for being a two-time cancer survivor. Despite its return, Olga continues to keep fighting, which is an inspiration, not just to me, but to the City of Linden. That's what's written. Signed by me, Derek Armstead. But I don't have to write to tell you how much we love you in this town.
Thank you.
Okay? God bless you. All right? Oh, and because we know that medical bills occur, and we would like to try to help as much as we possibly can, we are presenting you with a check this evening to help offset any of your costs, or if you just want to go on vacation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Didn't expect this. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God.
She's never been short on words. Don't get
Right, I am right now. I just want to thank you, sir, Mr. Mayor, Sandy, Angie, Michelle, everybody here. Thank you. Some faces I know, some faces I don't. But I thank you very much for your kindness and everything. I'm just a mom that wanted to help. I do it for the kids, and as I always tell you, I do it for our youth here in Linden, because I know what a potential we have here and how great they are. And sometimes they don't get the recognition they should. So this is why we're here. And I know you too, you just the same. It's just the same. So that's all I want to say. Thank you very much for this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that's a, I didn't say thank you to my family. So much.
Okay, we're going to move on to ordinances on hearing. Okay. Ordinance 6713 was tabled at the April meeting, and it's going to remain on the table this evening. We have ordinance 6739, please.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a schedule of titles, salary ranges, and regulations for maintaining the classification and salary standardization plan of all employees of the City of Linden, passed August 15, 1995, and approved August 16, 1995, adopting salary schedule 4-RR-3.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move that the hearing for ordinance number 67-39 be closed, the ordinance adopted, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6740, please.
A bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $946,000 for landfill improvements and authorizing the issuance of $898,700 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Can you please come up and state your name?
Yes. My name is Craig Halloran. I live at 120 Donaldson Place. These improvements, they include the new flare that's being installed at the landfill and any other improvements that needed to be done.
Mr. Pantina?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance number 6740. Move for adoption and request a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to say to the general public about this landfill issue, because it's a big number, 946,000. The landfill was closed in 2008, 2004, someone, anyone? And it has to, we have to like keep it under surveillance for 30 years, which includes keeping the flare lit. If the flare goes out for 1 second, the DEP can come and fine us for tens of thousands of dollars. Even if there's really no methane coming to the surface, they'll still fine us. And then we go through not decades long, but year-long battles with them trying to reduce the fines. It's really a nightmare. But this amount of money is being used to get the flare back working and get everything in order there so we can still be in compliance and stop getting fined. I don't know if I will have the honor of serving on this council in 2038, but I can't wait to that the landfill is no longer a burden on the taxpayers of this city. Thank you.
Any others? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6741, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7, Traffic, shall be in the same is hereby amended as follows. Chapter 7, Traffic, 7-33, Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A, Handicap Parking on the Street. Delete 820 West Elizabeth Avenue, one space. Delete and add 205 Grant Street, one space.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on 6741, adopted, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6742.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 2, Administration of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 2, Administration shall be in the same as hereby amended as follows. Chapter 2, Article 4, Department established. 2-12, Department of Police. 7-12.1, created, Department of Police. Delete 7-12.1 in its entirety, add new section 7-12.1.
Okay. Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to move the hearing be closed on ordinance number 67-42. The ordinance adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we have consent agenda items. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless the council member so requests. We have items number 1 through 3. Okay, can we have a motion, please?
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. All right, we'll now have reports from the governing body, beginning with Ward number 1, Councilwoman Ormond.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to start off with the Budget Review and Finance Report. Approval is requested for the following finance actions: the payment of bills totaling $2,839,319.78. Bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, and the Finance Chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the Clerk's office. We are in receipt of the investment made by the City Treasurer for the month of June at the rate of 3.1%. I move for approval and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Continue, Councilwoman.
Great, okay, thank you. Last month, I did not have the Division of Transportation and Properties report for the month of June, so I'll go over for June and July. I hereby submit the monthly financial reports from the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of May and June 2023. This report includes the collection of on- and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. For the month of May, Trenton side collections, $1,617. New York side collections, $794. Railroad credit card transactions, $31,395.56. Railroad permits, $87.65. New railroad daily parking, $3,475. Online railroad parking permits, 0. Parking meter collections, $11,250.80. And merchant permits, 0. The grand total is $48,602.01. For the month of June 2023, the Trenton side collections were $1,434. The New York side collections, $1,225. Railroad credit card transactions, $7,842.25. Railroad permits, $844. New railroad daily parking, $25,412.09. Online railroad parking permits, $16,410. Parking meter collections, $11,453.20, and merchant permits, 0, for a grand total of $64,620.54. My war report is just going to be very brief, and I'm just going to speak on what I spoke on last month. Yes, the summer is here in full force, but the noise ordinance is still in effect. All loud music must cease at 10 o'clock p.m., no exceptions. Loud noise coming from your backyard, if there are people sitting out there, it has to cease at 10 o'clock, no exceptions. So please be considerate of your neighbors. But on the flip side, this is also the best time of the year to be outdoors. We have beautiful backyards to enjoy, so I'm just encouraging everybody to please enjoy your space. You have that right to. We have 10 weeks of the summer, enjoy your space. And I'm asking neighbors to please be understanding. Just keep in mind that we love our backyards, we love our barbecue grills, and some of us love having our nieces, nephews, families, and friends over for a swim on a hot day. I have a daughter, and her girlfriends, they scream. It's just a girl thing, I don't know. But my backyard is always noisy with the sound of children having fun. Like I said, sometimes I'll have as many as 15, 16 kids over there swimming and having a barbecue. So please be understanding that some of us do enjoy our property, and it's just going to always be that way. The last thing, and the only thing I really want to talk about is, most of you know that we did have a fire on Gessner Street last week. It is still under investigation, so there really isn't too much that we can say about the fire. Just keep in mind that we have the best fire department, and we have an awesome police department, and they're doing everything in their power to conclude their report. When we do have more information, we will definitely be forthcoming about it. It's not that we're trying to be secretive. And the only thing that we can really tell you is what is out there that is public information. Permits were not obtained for that particular property, but that's public information. That's already known. But once again, the cause of the fire and anything else is still under investigation. So I'm asking, please kindly, don't call, don't pressure me to give you any information, because it's just not going to happen until the fire department and the police department conclude with their report. That includes my report, Council President. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ormond. Councilman Javik, second ward.
Yes, Council President. As chairman of the Fire Committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of June 2023, a total of $12,917.15. Regarding the Linden Fire Department ambulance billing, the amount of $155,181.90 for June have been added to the total deposits for 2023, totaling to $600,889.97. As a reminder from our Board of Health to our Linden property owners, the recently passed Public Law 2021 C-182 requires lead-based paint hazard evaluations of all residential rental dwelling units constructed prior to 1978. This includes all rented single-family homes, multiple family homes, and apartments. This evaluation must be conducted at least once prior to July 2nd, 2024, and then again once every 3 years or upon each tenant turnover, whichever is earlier. Property owners can hire their own qualified lead evaluation contractor to perform this evaluation and forward the resulting report and certificate to the Board of Health, or they can arrange for the evaluation to be done through the Board of Health. Either way, all applicable properties are required by recent Board of Health ordinances to register both the owner and tenant information with the Board of Health. Postcards with this information and associated fees will be mailed to all the applicable properties. Owners who fail to register their information or fail to register their tenant information upon each tenant turnover, or who fail to have the required lead-based paint hazard evaluation conducted, will be subject to legal action. In addition, all of the required forms have been added to the Health Department page of the city website. The forms can be downloaded and printed from that page, filled out, and returned to the Health Department via mail or in person with the appropriate fees. The forms include an owner registration form, a tenant registration form, an application that lists the actions required and their associated fees, and an affidavit of exemption. Properties that are exempt from the inspections required by this program include residential rental units in buildings that were constructed after 1978, residential rental buildings or units in buildings that are certified lead-free, multiple rental dwellings registered with New Jersey DCA or at least 10 years, and that have had no outstanding lead violations during the most recent state inspection. Single-family, two-family, and multiple-family homes only occupied by the owner, and no portion of the building is being used as a residential rental dwelling now or in the immediate future. A NJ-DCA lead hazard evaluation guide is also provided on the Health Department page of the City of Linden website. This guide describes the program in detail and can be helpful for owners and realtors with residential rental properties that may be subject to this program. Property owners who have questions are encouraged to call the Linden Board of Health at 908-474-8409 and ask to speak to the health officer. Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is enjoying their summer. In our ward, the new high-pressure gas line that is being installed and that has caused all these street closures or rerouting on West Blanky Street, Stiles Street, and Elizabeth Avenue should be completed in 3 to 4 weeks. West Price Street to Wood Avenue will be graded and paved in the next 3 weeks. As a reminder, we do license our dogs in the city of Linden. Anyone who has not done so, please reach out to the city clerk's office. The fee is low and includes a rabies shot. Also, it gives us the ability to identify your pet by its tags if it gets lost. In addition, you will also be able to use the Lexington Dog Park because now you have tags on your dog. So please, also be considerate when walking your leash pet, and please clean up afterwards. It's your neighborhood. I can be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavick@linden-newjersey.gov, on Facebook, Second Ward Councilman Barry Javick. As always, additional information needed can always be found on our City of Linden website. Council President, end of report.
Thank you, Councilman Javik. Councilwoman Caldwell, Third Ward.
Thank you, Council President. The Construction Code Department has issued 239 permits, processed 36 certificates, and generated $60,619 for the month of June 2023. As for IT, I don't have any recent updates. I would like to say good evening to my Third Ward neighbors. It's a privilege to be the voice of the Third Ward. Without you, there's no me. In terms of our neighborhood, we've seen some advancements over the past year with new sidewalks and roads, the installation of new lights. Safety and security continue to be paramount in our neighborhood, and I want to thank the Linden Police Department and the mayor for the strong presence in the Third Ward. I've seen them, my father said he sees them in the Fourth Ward. We really appreciate it with everything that's been going on. And I just want to ask everyone to please slow down. You're speeding down the streets, there's kids on bikes, and I'm just afraid someone's gonna be hurt. Please just slow down in the neighborhood. Please do 25 miles per hour. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach me at 908-531-0676. My email is mcaldwell@linden.newjersey.gov. Thank you, Council President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Council.
Oh, wait a second, I'm sorry. And I also want to say condolences to my cousins. We lost our matriarch cousin on Sunday. She's passed away, and I just want to say condolences to my cousins. Her name was Iola Sykes, and she will be truly missed.
Thank you. Great. Councilman Mohammed, Fourth Ward.
Council President, good evening, constituents, people of the full board. I hope you all are enjoying the summertime. Please come out to our newly refurbished Martin Luther King Park. Recreation Department has staff Monday through Friday with all kinds of activities. Basketball, flag football, tennis, volleyball, board games, arts and crafts. It really has been the attractive focal point of our neighborhood again. Mayor Armstead and I hope to see you at the park. I can't like to pass my sympathy to my predecessor, Mr. Monty Brooks, who's done an exemplary job as representing this ward, and I'm very proud to be behind him, and I will always remember him in spirit when I first moved to Linden, and I respect his and honor his work. Thank you, Council President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Mohammed. Councilman Rivas, Fifth Ward.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, citizens of Linden's neighbors of the Fifth Ward. I'd like to start thanking all of you for the support received throughout these months. Slowly but surely, I'm starting to build my agenda to working for my constituents in the Fifth Ward, like what my commitment is as your councilman. I'd like to express to my neighbors on Hager Avenue on Nora Drive that I'll be working with the Traffic Commission in order to do surveys regarding the concerns given about people speeding on those roads. As Councilman Cosby said, we need to slow down. There are children living in our neighborhoods, and we need to make sure that we pay close attention to them. They have been asked, our constituents have been asked to make some research regarding speed bumps. I wanted to let the constituents know that there's research being done. Not always a speed bump is the way to fix the problem, speeding, but there are other ways that we're going to try to look out there in order to fix the problem. As also will take us to do some sort of traffic studies in the areas, but we do understand that the traffic on Hagerville Avenue is hectic sometimes during the day because they're trying to avoid the traffic on Park Avenue, and in Nora Drive as well, trying to avoid the traffic of the light on Cranford Avenue. So we will be working very diligent to try to find a solution for it. I would like to also thank the city officials and the city employees of the city of Linden for their good work and their hard work. It was reported that we had a park, one of the playground equipment is broken, and I had to be happy to say that I passed by this afternoon before coming into the meeting, and it has been resolved in the park in Dill Avenue. So thank you for the good job, and thank you for the speedy fixing of this park. Lastly, I received some communication regarding some concerns about the air traffic. Some constituents saying that they usually don't see planes that closer to the ground, and they were kind of concerned and worried. I would like to express to them that I make some reach out to the FAA in Newark, and they have explained me that most of the reasons what we can tend to see planes coming in different ways during the summer is because due to the weather, they have to do reroutes. And as they climb in, they are now turning in order to avoid the storm cells that are in the area. While this is something that is very safe, I'd like to express to our citizens that our small planes climb at about 2,000 to 3,000 feet per minute, and our big planes climb at 5,000 feet per minute, and they can only turn or start turning at about 10,000 feet. So as we enjoy the summer and we see some clear skies and we can see the tails of those planes, I would like to say to all of you that they are very safe. There is nothing to concern. There is not even a concern of a noise in that matter. It's just that the people tend to see them more often, and they tend to see their tails. They tend to see that they're now flying at a low altitude, but that's not the case. I'd like to also comment and say thank you to our fire department, to our police department as well for the job that they do. They put their life on line every time they're out there. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you on behalf of all the citizens of Linden. Your job does not go unnoticed, and thank you for keeping us safe. Madam my phone number is 908-718-7609, and I can be reached by email at crivas@linden-nj.gov. That ends my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilman Rivas. Councilman Roman, Sixth Ward.
Council President, thank you. I might just go over a little bit as I was writing here. I just kept culminating. Good evening, Linden, 6th Ward. I met with the police department recently to discuss quality of life issues that have been recent complaints, normal summer complaints really. So expect to see more police activity in certain places. I just thought of something else I need to put in. Basically, Woodlawn, Stimson, Kennedy, and a few other places the police are going to be concentrating on some quality of life issues. I just want to give a shout out to the Chief of Police, David Hart, and the captains and all of our officers, in fact, for putting together the crime suppression unit that they recently put through. It's basically 10 of our police officers from various different platoons, a couple sergeants that are out there working the beat, trying to get guns and stop violent crimes. And they have been very successful. As of this morning, in the couple weeks that they have been working, they have 500 different stops, and I know they've made 20 arrests, and they've taken 2 handguns off our street. One of them was in the 6th Ward as someone was passing through, and I'm so thankful that that gun is off the streets and out of our neighborhood. So thank you guys, and please continue what you're doing as long as you can. Anything that this council can help you with to continue to do that, we certainly will do our best to. As for Kennedy Drive, I know that there's a lot going on with the spray park. It happens every year since it's been open, especially now that COVID's gone. People are coming back out, and it's very busy there. People are parking on Kennedy. There are going to be park enforcement officers in the area, but just remember, just as last time, you're going to end up getting tickets too, the people that live there. So just be aware of that. The spray park is open every day, 11 to 6. It's being run very well by the county. And also that they're building the pickleball courts right where the skate park used to be. So that should be coming online soon enough. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America, and it's going to be even busier. So I want to say congrats to our officers being promoted tonight who are in the audience. Councilman Strano will say the personnel report afterwards, but having dealt with both men on several occasions and watching them in the manner that they interact with the public is completely full of courtesy, professionalism, and respect. They respect our residents when they're talking to them, and that's something that I always take notice to when I'm on a job, or I'm on your job, basically, when I come to a scene. So I appreciate you guys, and congratulations. Winfield Fire Department Volunteer Carnival is August 2nd through the 5th. It's 2 weeks from now. I have Super 50/50s up here. Every dollar that they raise goes towards the ambulance for this carnival. So their ambulance is completely volunteer. They stock it, they get training, and they've done a good job over the last couple of years of getting young kids involved to help that community over there. And a carnival is just something I grew up with my whole life, and I really like helping them out. So if you guys want Super 50/50s, I have them here. It's usually about $7,000 by the end of the week. Smith and Hampton, ongoing issues. The engineers were out today. Is on the top of their list. They are overburdened and low-staffed. So please be patient. However, the drains will come, and Smith Street's going to get repaved after some water main work coming down the road. Anyway, it was just repaved. The curbs are working great. Thank you, engineering, for installing curbs on Hampton and Rebecca for the first time in 80 years, or its whole existence. They're working great, and that's why the water's pooling. So just some punch list issues that we're going to continue to work on. Today, DPW truck blew its hydraulics all over Jefferson Avenue, creating a huge oil slick. Just want to shout out DPW. They were all over it. They had it all cleaned up within an hour. Unfortunately, the rain interfered with that, but they really did a great job cleaning that up for the residents and getting the rest of the recycling. If they didn't get the whole route today, they will tomorrow. So leave your recycling out. Later this month, West Linden Avenue, Coolidge, and Lynn Court will be starting a water main work with a 36-inch main. It's a big job, and it's going to require street closures, so just know that West Linden Avenue near Lynn Court and South Style Street is going to have a lot of traffic on the week of the 27th. July 25th, they just scheduled a special zoning board meeting. Continually, this property, 103, 105 West Munsell that I spoke about last month, has been getting delayed as the zoning board meeting. They are having a special zoning board meeting in order to try to pass a use variance to allow townhouses, and also 4 or 5 bulk variances, asking for height variance and front and rear side variances. I am 100% and have been against this project since the beginning. It is too much. It's just too much. And it's openly been about a retirement and someone, being able to retire with their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And they want to stack all these townhouses in our neighborhood. It doesn't fit our neighborhood. I'm asking the applicant to please come back with something more reasonable. 4 two-family houses, that's 8 units over the 9 that is proposed. It's still 8 units. You'll still make the money, and it'll be more congruent to the neighborhood, and the neighborhood would be able to fit it better. It certainly fits on that property, which is over on West Munsell. So anyone who is available July 25th, please come out and help us fight this. Stay New Jersey was just passed into law, and it hasn't been talked about here to the public, and I wanted to say it's probably the most important piece of legislation that I've ever watched pass through the state legislature. Speaker Coughlin and Senate President Scuteri combined on a bill to basically cut senior property taxes in half. What they're going to do is, starting in 2026, anyone over 65 years old that makes less than 500 grand is going to see a 50% reduction in their property tax values. Property tax bills as a rebate from the state. The kicker is that it maxes out at a benefit of $6,500. So let's say your tax bill in Linden is $10,000, and you're over 65 years old, and obviously you make less than $500,000. You're going to see a $5,000 tax rebate from this bill. And starting in 2026, it's going to be a permanent part. And it's called Stay NJ, and it's geared towards keeping our seniors in their houses and keeping them in New Jersey. And I've never seen a better piece of legislation. It's going to help my mom. It's going to help a lot of the residents in the 6th Ward. I'm very proud that this passed. So on top of that, from the state, we just got $2 million in the state budget from the state budget just passed. In that budget, there was $2 million allocated for a brand new fire ladder. We're in desperate need for a fire ladder. We are in the process of building one right now, and this $2 million that was put into the state budget, this is not money immediately from the property taxpayers. This is money from the state that is going to come to Linden. And I want to thank Senator Scuteri and everyone else involved, Commissioner Bodek, and everyone else working with the state to get this money. We now can use that money for hiring more police officers, which we desperately need, or rebuilding our parks, which is something that the council is talking about every single council meeting. So I can't wait to see that happen. And just last but not least, Kenilworth Fire Department had 2 members pass away this month in 2 different incidents, and I'm just want to say rest in peace and sorry for your loss to them, and also rest easy, Monty Brooks. Monty Brooks was a great councilman, a great leader in this community, a great coach, and a really good role model for our children, and he will be gravely missed in this city. So rest easy, Monty Brooks. Thank you, Council President. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Rowe.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Strano, 7th Ward.
Thank you, thank you, Council President. I have before me the personnel report for the month of July. There's 7 items here, starting with number 1 in the Treasury Department, approving the resignation in good standing of Jatisse Wright, an accounting assistant effective July 28, 2023. And B is approving the posting for an accounting assistant with a salary range of $45,000 to $65,000 annually. 2 in the Board of Health. A is approving the hiring of Daphne Desir, Montclair State University student intern, unpaid, to complete a 40-hour observation program to fulfill a course requirement. B is approving the posting of a part-time registered environmental health specialist position not to exceed 25 hours per week at an hourly rate range of $22 to $30 per hour, commensurate with experience. C is amending the appointment date of Crystal Leslie, Clerk 1, from July 15, 2023 to July 18th of 2023. 3 is in the Office of the Construction Code, approving the posting for a part-time building inspector at the annual range of $39.37 to $40.75 per hour to fill a vacancy. 4 is in the Department of Community Services. A is to approve the appointment of Eric Sporer, Sanitation Inspector, provisional, at the annual rate of $30.77 per hour. B is approving the resignation in good standing of Ronald Fernschwanger, tree trimmer, effective July 14th of 2023. C is approving the posting for 2 tree trimmers, Tier 2, at the annual range of $18 to $41.72 per hour. D is approving the posting for 2 truck drivers, Tier 2, at the annual range of $21 to $31.72 per hour. 5 in the Police Department, accepting the resignation in good standing of Jolie Doan, Clerk 2, effective July 28th, 2023. Accepting resignation in good standing of Jamar Green, Clerk 1, effective August 18th of 2023. C is approving the posting for 2 Clerk 1 positions at the annual salary range of $34,548 to $61,470. D is approving the promotion of Officer Joseph Appello to Police Sergeant at the annual salary of $122,620, effective August 1st, 2023. E is approving the promotion of Officer Meshko Lajoka to police sergeant at the annual salary of $122,626 effective August 1st of 2023. F is approving the amended appointment date to July 30th of 2023 for the following public safety telecommunicator trainees: Anthony Hatzhofer, Sergio S. Cabrera, and Perla A. Jorge. 6 is Division of Recreation approving the seasonal list on file with the clerk's office. And 7 is Division of Personnel approving the FMLA and NJFLMA leaves on file in the Division of Personnel. I move for approval and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Yes. Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.
And I'd like to congratulate those 2 officers that are here tonight. Please stand and be recognized. Congratulations. You have to excuse me for not saying your names because I was going to try that again, Meshko. But thank you. Okay, in the 7th Ward, as always, I'd like to thank all of our departments for their outstanding duties and continuing to provide our residents with the excellent services that they have. Occasionally, I got to point one out that goes above and beyond, in my opinion, and does a really good job. So I want to send out kudos to our Department of Community Services, which is namely our engineering department. The outstanding job that's been done on Lower Road, with curbs that have never existed there before, sidewalks replaced and added along Memorial Park, adding safety. Now, no one has to be out walking in the street. You can walk from Route 1 all the way to DPW without having to walk in the street, and that's never existed to my knowledge. Also, we're still waiting. It's not done yet. We still have some punch list items. We have some striping that has to be done. All the striping has to be done. Some guardrails that have to be replaced, and probably another few items here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty complete. Really nice job. Over 27 streets were paved throughout the city in the month of June in Linden, which probably added to a lot of traffic congestion where we had to have detours, but we got through it, and again, that's a lot of work for a department that's adequately staffed but not overstaffed. And when you have vacations in the summertime and people that are out on family leave, it puts a lot of pressure on that department, and they did an outstanding job. By the way, that Lower Road project was paid for by a local freight infrastructure grant. It did not come out of the taxpayers' dollars. Again, congratulations and kudos to the engineering department for getting those grants for us. Skate park update, going out on a limb again. The groundbreaking should have commenced already, but as Murphy's Law is omnipresent, we're in the hold pattern due to a Soil Conservation Commission permit and a stormwater permit, which we believe the contractor originally was going to provide that, and last minute they asked us to do it, and that's in the works. I'm not holding my breath, but I'm still holding out for a groundbreaking in July. And at this time, I'd like to conclude my report, Council President, and thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Strano. Councilman Blaine, 8th Ward.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to say good evening to all the Linden residents. Just want to give you a brief report on Parks and Recreation. We currently have 5 summer camps in full swing with over 250 attendees, which we're very proud of. We have a plethora of sports camps available for all the children out there, from cheer, basketball, baseball, track, tennis, softball, you name it, we just about have it. So I encourage everyone to go on the website and get your children involved, because there's plenty of activity. Just want to congratulate, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I want to congratulate Keith Pressey on the outstanding June 4th putting together, helped putting together that Unity Day. It was a wonderful event. Over 2,000 people attended, and it was very, very nice. Just to give you an update on some of the events that we have coming up, July 21st, there's Legends of Linden. August 1st, there's National Night Out. August 4th, we have the 4th Ward Old School Reunion. August 9th, there's the 8th Ward Community Day event. And on August 26th and 27th, there's the 4th Ward Community Day basketball tournament. So please come out and participate because there's a lot of activity. Again, we're enjoying the summer, and I hope everyone gets out and to enjoy that. In addition to that, I want to make sure that all our seniors are aware of the different programs that we have. We have a revived bus schedule coming out. There's a women's self-defense class that's being offered. There's a birthday bash, there's a general fitness class, and also there's a sitter-cise. Now, you'd have to contact Parks and Recreation to get full detail, but there is a lot of activities that are going on. I encourage everyone to get involved and check that out on the website. In general, getting to the 8th Ward, I want to commend the 8th Ward on the way we actually conducted ourselves over the 4th of July holiday. Even though people participated in fireworks, it was held to a minimum. Nobody did it excessively in the wee hours of the morning as it's been done in the past, so our voices have been heard. And I really want to commend the community for keeping that to a minimum. So far, we've been very neighborly and haven't been abusing the noise ordinance and with the music, even though people are outside and they're blasting their music and wanting to enjoy their backyards. No one has a problem with that, but we just ask you to be considerate of the neighbors when when your party extends to wee hours of the morning. A couple other things and some housekeeping issues. I've noticed, and I've gotten several complaints about the grass clippings. When you hire someone to cut your grass, they are not allowed to just put those clippings in the street. I'm an avid motorcycle rider, and I can't tell you how dangerous that is. If I go to turn the corner, it's easier for a bike, a motorcycle, a bicycle to just slide on those grass clippings. You are not allowed to put your clippings in the street, and there's numerous complaints throughout the town. Also, those who, I want to commend Jerry Bishop along with DPW department, getting those berry trees off of a resident's property. No one should have to have berry trees in front of their house. That's unexcusable. So if you have those, please contact me. We'll see if we can get that resolved as quickly as possible. I have a gentleman here from Broad and Allen Street that we're going to address some of the parking issues that we have over in that area. It's atrocious and it's getting out of hand, and we're going to work with the police department along with the community to see what we can come up with to resolve that issue. Also, I'm happy to see Councilman Rivas back in full swing, and as soon as he gets his feet settled, we'll be working with him on Baltimore Avenue and putting together a cleanup project to see if we can work together and get the community involved in keeping that area clean. 8th Ward, again, I want to thank you for your cooperation in getting our street paved. I know it was a little inconvenience, but it just makes our neighborhoods more beautiful and just easier on our cars as we travel to and from our homes. Last but not least, I want to say thank you to all the give me a couple of extra minute. I want to say thank you to all the residents that have reached out to me post-election. Thank you. I can't tell you. It's very heartfelt, and you guys know I'm straightforward. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to change. I'm never going to change that. I want to thank you. I heard your voice. Just know that I'll be on the job until the end of my term, and if you need to reach me, you can reach me at 908-487-5645. We'll continue to be out in the streets working. And before I get off, I just want to send my condolences to the 2 firemen that lost their lives in the city of Newark. One of the gentlemen, his name was Augie, and when I tell you, what a great guy he was. He worked at JFK part-time and always willing to help. There is not once that I ever called him that he would just pick up the phone and talk to me. And regardless of what it was, if it was talking about my son, my family, anything I had to discuss with him, he was just that kind of guy. So when you hear about him on television being a hero, this guy was an exceptional, wonderful human being I'd had the pleasure of knowing. So my condolences to him and his family, and to the other firemen as well. I didn't know him, but I'm just speaking on behalf of Augie. So that being said, I just want to say to our fire and police department, we love you and we love the job that we do, and most people don't understand the commitment you guys actually give and put your lives on the line every day. So thank you for that. And also, that Wawa's coming, so I want everybody to get ready, because that Wawa's coming on 1 and 9, so we should also be happy about that. Thank you, Council President, for that time.
Thank you. Okay, Councilman Medina, Ninth Ward.
Thank you, Council President. Just a quick report here for the Ninth Ward. Good evening, everyone. Just real quick, I'm excited to announce that the sidewalk project started in the Ninth Ward. You know, if you have a sidewalk that's damaged by city tree, please reach out to me. I'll get on the list for 2024. Tree branches and dead trees, McManus Park. This past weekend, I believe, it was Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember. I took some pictures. A large tree limb fell on the Myrtle side. Thank God, you know, it was bad weather, it was raining, no one was at the park. The only damage that was caused was to the light in the park and the electrical line that ran to that pole. PSEG, our police department, and our DPW crew responded quickly. We got out there, we cleaned it up, and restored the electricity and replaced the light in the park. I did send an email to DPW about this tree and expressed the overall safety concerns, and that we should not focus on who owns the tree, whether it's the Board of Education or the City of Linden. At the end of the day, it's a Linden tree. We need to take care of it. So more to come on that. I'm confident that the crew will take care of it and come up with an overall plan to remove the dead branches and that one dead tree at McManus Park. I also submitted dead trees throughout the community, and hopefully they will be removed and later replaced, and later in the year replaced with new trees. Litter is becoming an issue in the community. Working to launch some campaigns via social media, personal actions, and want to be mind that, you know, when I walk around, I like to pick up litter, and I'm hoping that people see that, and hopefully they'll catch on to that. And lastly, word of mouth. Did receive some concerns. I will email our Board of Health. I forgot to do that earlier today, but I think they are already involved about some dangerous dogs in the 100 block of Livingston Road. If anyone sees any loose dogs out there, just call the non-emergency line, 908-474-8500, and the police will respond to that concern. Lastly, road paving. I take that back, not lastly. Road paving in the Ninth Ward should start in the fall of 2023. It is tentatively, depending on pre-construction meetings, et cetera, and whatnot, but more to come on that. I'm really excited about that. Lastly, you know, I want everyone to enjoy the summer, take advantage of all of our gorgeous parks, and if you ever need me for anything, I can be reached, 908-986-6100, text, call, or email me at amedina@linden-nj.gov. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Medina. Councilwoman Hudak, 10th Ward.
Thank you. Our thoughts and prayers are with our own Linden firefighter that was injured in the Gessner House fire. He did sustain some very serious injuries that have the potential of being threatening to the life. And also, I'd like to thank both our fire and our police for their selfless, untiring duty to our community. Many of our fire and police are veterans, and I thank them for their service. And always remember, we are the free because of the brave. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hudak. I have a short report this evening. Okay, Phillips 66 Refinery issued an operations message yesterday regarding louder venting noises from the refinery which were occurring temporarily to meet necessary operational safety guidelines. There was no environmental impact from the venting of the steam. The venting subsided earlier this afternoon. I know many residents of the 8th Ward heard it yesterday, and it was very loud, but they do put out these alerts. Phillips 66 established a community awareness hotline several years ago. It is a listen-only hotline regarding the operation, so if you hear any noise like that, you can call, residents can call 908-523-6005 to hear if they hear any of these unusual noises. Again, that number is 908-523-6005. From the Linden Library, aside from the summer reading clubs and movies, this summer, the Linden Public Library is still offering many programs for all ages. On Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m., from now through the end of September, elderly residents can attend Project Healthy Bones, an osteoporosis prevention program, which teaches exercise and educates on how to keep your bones healthy. For more information about all our programs at the library, please visit the library website at lindenlibrary@nj.gov. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to congratulate our mayor. He's receiving an Icon Award from NJ Biz, which is a very prestigious award, on August 8th. Mayor, I know you were joking because of your age you received it, but this is a well-deserved honor that you are receiving. And on behalf of this council, we'd like to congratulate you on a well-deserved honor. Okay, and I'd like to also mention our Recreation Department. This is Parks and Recreation Month, and on July 21st, we will be celebrating Parks and Recreation Day, so we'd like to thank all our rec leaders, our program coordinators, rec leaders in the department for all the hard work they've been doing. Keith Pressey, he's hit the ground running, trying to revamp our whole recreation department, and we are seeing the fruits of his work coming through, so we thank you. So again, thank you to our Parks and Recreation Department. And finally, I'd just like to send my condolences to my former neighbors, an 8th Ward resident, Ada and Roland Martinez and their family, on the death of their daughter, Doris. Doris grew up right up the corner from me. She lost her battle to cancer on, today was her funeral, 35 years old, ovarian cancer. So again, we'd like to send our condolences to the Martinez family. Hey, Mayor. Your
Okay,
report.
thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I actually didn't have a report this evening. I actually was supposedly on vacation, but so much for vacation. I'd first like to send my condolences to the Brooks family, Monty Brooks, who passed recently. Monty and I actually were adversaries as far as politically, but it was nothing more than just running for office. I want to say that he was respectful and decent when we ran against each other. It was a very clean campaign. We didn't throw any rocks at each other, didn't disparage each other's names. We just ran, and I beat him, and he later on became a council person after I moved on to become the mayor. So again, my condolences to he and to his family. Next, I'd like to congratulate Eric Sporer. We know him as Bocce, but people saw, who's this Eric Sporer guy? I said, oh, wait, that's Bocce from DPW. So congratulations, Bocce. You deserve it. You've been a hard worker for many years, and we look forward to you being a great sanitation inspector. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to congratulate our two new sergeants. I'm going to try not to mess up the one name, but we have Officer Joseph Appello, who's going to be promoted to sergeant, and Mesko Nazoika. Did I say that right? I got it right, okay. Anyway, so anyway, both of them are going to be sergeants, and I want people to know that we're increasing our sergeant complement. We just don't do things like this without a tremendous amount of thought. We have a very young police force, and sometimes when things happen, our sergeants are spread real thin. And the reality of it is that when you have a new police force, you need direction from sergeants. They have to, so by increasing the complement of sergeants, we hope to have a better and a more effective police department. We have a lot of things that are going on in this town. It's a small town of 43,000, but trust and believe, it's a very active town. And when we have the need to increase the complement, we will. So, gentlemen, I am completely confident in both of your abilities to do a great job and look forward to you doing such. So once again, congratulations. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're going to move on to resolutions. Just a little housekeeping item. Anyone who wishes to speak during our public comment section of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets in the front of the room here. Okay, we'll start our resolutions. We have Resolution 2023-262 through 2023-284. Can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of Resolution 2023, 262 to 284, and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman? Mr. Roman?
Yes, sir. I'm going to go yes to all.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinances for introduction on first reading, beginning with ordinance 6743, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-15, parking by permit only in designated residential areas shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-15.4, limitation of parking by permit to properties approved pursuant to a redevelopment plan.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6743, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 67-43 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman? Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yermakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6744, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-34, Don't Block the Box, shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. Chapter 7 Traffic, 7-34, Don't Block the Box, 7-34.b, Don't Block the Box, Critical Intersections. Delete East Edgar Road at US Routes 1 and 9. Add East Edgar Road and South Park Avenue, Edgar Road and Southwood Avenue, West Edgar Road and South Stiles Street, East Elizabeth Avenue at Municipal Parking Lot, and North Stiles Street and Karen Terrace.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6744, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6744 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yermakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6745, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-10, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets, shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-10, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets. Add Pennsylvania Avenue.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6745, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6745 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman? Yes. Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Yes. Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6746, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7 Traffic shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-33 handicap parking regulations, 7-33.1A handicap parking on street, delete 415 Brook Street 1 space, and add 707A Academy Terrace 1 space.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6746, please?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6746 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6747, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 26 Flood Damage Prevention of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of City of Linden that Section 1, Chapter 26 Flood Damage Prevention, Article 2, Stormwater Management shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. Add new Section 26-20, Privately Owned Salt Storage.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6747, please?
Council President, I move ordinance 6747 for introduction. Request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Yes. Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6748, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-15.1, parking decals shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-15, parking by permit only in designated residential areas. 7-15.1I, streets affected from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday through Saturday. Delete Woodlawn Avenue from Cedar Avenue to its northerly termination, and add Woodlawn Avenue from Liberty Street to its northerly termination.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6748, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6748 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6749.
An ordinance authorizing the execution of an amendment to the financial agreement with the apartments at Linden Station Urban Renewal LLC.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6749, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6749 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
No.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6750, please.
An ordinance authorizing the execution of an amendment to the financial agreement with DC Hospitality, Linden Urban Renewal LLC.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6750, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6750 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Yes. Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Hudak,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. We'll now move on to comments from members of the public in attendance on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments. Okay, start with Mr. Craig Halloran. Can you please come up and state your name and address for the record?
Craig Heller, 120 Donaldson Place. First of all, I'd like to thank the council president for her phone call to let me know that the parking meter situation in the lot behind CVS was straightened out. Thank you. And I'd like to take the time to thank engineering and public works for their cleanup and investigation out by Parkway and Buchanan with the algae growth in the curb. The other thing that I would encourage this governing body to do is think about the idea of holding like a town hall meeting in regards to railroad incidents where there may be chemical spills or anything like that. And I know that there are certain people in different departments that have spoken to that have addressed this issue. But again, I may know what's going on as far as emergencies like this go, and other people here may know that. But the general public in our great city doesn't always know that. So I think that a public meeting, maybe at the Gregorio Center, would be a great idea, and it'd be a feather in Linden's cap to address these issues, because every day I am hearing about different rail derailments and other things. Some of them luckily do not involve chemical spills, but we do have some chemicals that are stored on railroad yards. The one that I know about is liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, not a very big issue as far as other chemicals that might have been around at one time, but I do think that a public type town hall meeting in the fall might be a great time. It would give the city time to plan something, and they could encourage other cities around and county agencies to come out and let the public know that, hey, you know what, we got it covered. I'm not concerned about our emergency people. I know they're trained, okay? But how many other people in our great city know that? Even people that watch council meetings on TV. How many of them know what that is? I'll gladly be the first one to volunteer to throw an air pack on, because I've done that kind of stuff in my past, to show that, hey, you know what? The people know what they're doing. Our people are trained, but let the public know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Halloran.
Mr. Halloran, they are in the process of planning a safety meeting, but over the summer months with people away, so it's in the process of being planned, just so you're aware. We'll have more information in the fall.
Yeah, thank you. And anything I can do to help, you know how to get in touch with me.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Salgado? Please just
Thank
state
you,
your name and address for
Council
the record.
President. My name is Benito Salgado. I live at 2516 Ogden Street, Linden, New Jersey. And I'm here concerned with some issues that we have with our parking. When you were our councilman in the 8th Ward, you know that I've already issued that, I had that problem before. But now it just gotten worse. And I thank you, Councilman Blaine, for coming over and speaking to the residents on that street. I have a petition from all the residents on that street, signed by every single one of them, with the issues that we're having. The issues that we're having is Allen Street and separates us from the Elizabeth side and the Linden side. So we're right there at the border. Now the people from the Elizabeth side, they don't have parking, so they come to our side, take all the parking that's available on our street, which we have a right to be parked on the street, especially when we have people that come over, family members and stuff, and they just take all parking. But the problem is not only they take all parking, is that they take and they throw all the garbage on the ground, they drink alcohol beverages, they dispose of it on the ground, they do other things that I don't want to say on that street because it's a dead-end street, and I see them doing drugs in the car and all that stuff. So we're asking the residents on that block, if it's possible, that the council could make it just the parking, just for the people, the residents on that street. That the residents of Elizabeth will not be able to park on our side. Because the issue we have right now, there's a 2-hour parking limit that it's not being enforced. They're not getting tickets. They'll be parked there the whole day. The whole block is taken by them. They park there. They're not being issued tickets. Sometimes they park the car for a whole week. They leave it there. They're not being issued any tickets from the traffic bureau. I call the traffic bureau to come ticket them. They don't. So we need more presence also of that, more issuing tickets from the traffic bureau, and we need more police presence also. We don't have enough of that. For some reason, we do not see any police presence there, and we need it because, I have children, and a lot of people in that block have children, and the little things that are going on there that we're concerned about, and we want, some action taken as taxpayers as we are. We deserve to get, better service. Street cleaning, we have issues with street cleaning. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't. I call it the Department of Public Works. They say, we have nobody, they're on vacation, the machine's broken. So they always have some kind of excuse, but the street's not being cleaned. So we notice all these things, and that, that's why we have the petition here. If you just want to see it, that's fine. If not, I have it here. Signed by every single homeowner in that block. Thank you very much for your time.
If you'd like to give it to me, I'll give it to our clerk.
Thank
Okay. Mr. Salgado? Mr. Salgado?
Excuse me, sir?
Yes. We'll take, yes. Okay. Mr. Salgado? We have our captain here, Captain Gunther, who I'm sure will follow up tomorrow regarding the 2-hour parking and no enforcement. And I want to make mention that Councilman Blaine brought up last night during our caucus meeting about the truck parking all along Allen Street, so we're going to have that. Yes, so we're going to have a traffic study done there. Our Councilwoman Ormond chairs that committee, so it's already been requested to have it looked into again. There's issues with. Okay, we'll have Councilman look into that, yes, at the end.
Can I make a comment?
At the end. All right, Mr. Kaminsky?
Good evening, everybody. Yes, sir, Ed Kaminsky, 201 Maple Avenue. It's, nice segue. It's basically quality of life. That's what we're talking about here. But before I get into that, I was kind of surprised, and kudos to you, Councilwoman, for mentioning our own firefighter who got injured, Chief Haskell. I hope he's okay. I heard about this, but, some made comments about the Newark firefighters, and that's a tragedy, and I know there's some personal stories there, but I'm happy someone finally mentioned one of our own and the serious nature of that. Now, I'm going to get back to the quality of life because it is related to that, and I've talked about this, as have others, okay, over the years, when we see these monstrosities built all over Linden, especially Sunnyside now, but other areas too, and people just turn the other way. We see them there. I've even pointed out houses, and just nothing. It allows things like that to happen, and by the grace of God, this young man was not killed, and hopefully the injury's not too serious. But there has to be a laser focus overall. Sometimes, we come up here, meaning myself, others, and just get blank looks, no comments. We spend sometimes up to half a council meeting. I get it, the mundane stuff has to be done, but just not focusing on the really meat and potato issues, and then everybody goes home and nothing gets done. And you don't have to go, the things I'm going to talk about, you don't have to go far. Right here, right out on the doorstep, okay? Shootings, okay? Broad daylight, a lot of this stuff is happening. Stabbings this way, okay? There was one of these parties, and I don't know why we have all these darn parties every week. We don't need it. Because at the end of the day, Sid's paying the bill for most of it, and the goal of the city was to increase the business for our businesses, and none of these parties do at all. And I've talked to business owners about that. But the last party, there was the garbage that was left, what I saw, the broken windows in the storefronts. Again, laser focus to change these problems is needed. And I'm actually horrified to hear, this sounds a little weird, that there was a crime task force put together just recently. I mean, to me, that shows that nobody's been listening or paying attention to what's going on here, that we just put the crime task force together now. Quite frankly, should be crime task force, that's the job of the police to do anyway. And, these folks are great and they put their lives on the line, but you gotta help them. I remember just a month or two ago, the chief was out there, did after another spate of stabbings and shootings, did one of those neighborhood things, and listened to what he asked for. He said what didn't work. He talked about these bail reform laws. I know you guys don't control that, but I'd be on a rooftop screaming to my senators, to everybody that could, to make a difference. Listen, laser focus. It is bringing this town down. I've never seen it this bad in my life.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Kaminsky. Okay. John Kazor?
My name's John Kaiser, 23 West Munsell Avenue. Good evening. Hope everyone's having a great summer. Good to see everyone here again. I got to talk about Mr. Monty Brooks. My dad graduated 1969 from Linden High School with Monty Brooks. They graduated 66 from Seoul. They played baseball, basketball together. He was such a pillar in the community. My father adored this man. I used to look at my dad's sign ashore as a young boy. I'd go right to the, he was B, so he was at the beginning. My dad would go, Monty Brooks, and he would tell me a story about the man. Years later, I got to meet him, and I told him who I was. He goes, oh, your father's Kip. That was my dad's nickname. It's just the serendipity, the synchronicity. My dad, a year ago, I was in front of you guys talking about how my dad passed away, June 24th. Mr. Brooks passed away June 24th, a year later. He was laid to rest on June 30th. My dad was laid to rest June 30th. I hope they're up there right now having a great time talking about the old days. It's sad. He was a casualty of this administration, and it was sad to see how he was done. Some positive stuff. I love our city parks. I'm always in them. I'm always using them. I love the programs we have going on right now. I've been watching who's running the show right now. I had to size him up a little bit, Mr. Pressey right there. I'm impressed by the job he's doing. He's really in good hands. The seniors are a little bit about that $6 still, but we'll let that go. I'd also like to recognize Ms. Peluso. I think she's doing a great job with the health department. They always show up to meetings. They don't have to be here right now. Their reports are always comprehensive, and it's always nice to see. I'll put a little more positive spin than Mr. Kaminsky on the crime suppression unit. I've seen them in action a few times already. Last night I watched them in Lawson Park. They had a whole bunch of kids. I don't want to say surrounded, but corralled. They're not making random stops. They're focusing in on intelligence that the public has no clue about. They were letting these kids go one at a time or a few at a time because there's young kids with these guns in their hands, and it's just crazy to think about. 125 Gessner, you guys have talked about it a few times. Last year I came up here and I said, our new Hasidic neighbors are busting up Linden. And Ms. Zorman, you went on some rant about what I meant when I didn't mean anything like you were saying. What I meant was they're busting up the structures, okay? They're busting up the structures, and now we see what can happen when this happens. A fireman could have been killed. Real quick, I've never felt unsafe walking through the city of Linden. All right, maybe because I'm a male and I'm not 80 years old, but I've never felt unsafe walking in any street. I've never felt the need for any type of security in this city. I just got a ring camera for the first time, right? Not for any criminals, not for any catalytic converter thieves, not for any home break-ins. This is so sad that I just got a ring camera because I'm running for city council, okay? And I just want to leave that at that. So thank you very much.
All right, could we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to close the public portion and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas.
Yes.
Roman.
Yes.
Strano.
Yes.
Blaine. Medina.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, we'll have comments from members of the governing body. Okay, Councilman Blaine?
I just want to thank you for coming tonight and presenting that problem to the council. I've been made aware there is permit parking in other areas of the city, and I'm going to look into that, and we'll organize a block meeting with all the residents over there, and you guys, and with my help, we'll get that done for you guys.
Okay, Councilman Medina?
Sure. Thank you, Council President. I'll keep this real brief. Just wanted to echo what Councilman Blaine said, Mr. Delgado. I had the same issue along Wood Avenue in the 9th Ward on the side streets, and we were able, it took a year, but we were able to put in place permit parking there after getting a majority consensus of the community. Also, to the comment with the homes that are built, the council did take action. Unfortunately, we were reactive, but we did took action last month. We adopted zoning change to help curb that issue with the homes and hopefully set a more acceptable setback for some of these homes that are being built. And lastly, I just wanted to congratulate Captain Gunther, 18 years today. Am I right, Captain?
18 years
18 years today, so congratulations,
Man,
Captain.
that went fast.
We appreciate everything that you do here for the city of Linden and so as the residents, so thank you.
I remember when it was
All right, Councilman
18.
Roman?
Thanks, Council President. Mr. Delgado, I just want to let you know, sir, I really think, and I had a conversation today, I really think that the city should look into hiring more parking enforcement officers. They pay for themselves, and it's just hard because people want to make more money nowadays, and with benefits and blah, 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 it's something that would have to be worked out. But I really hope that the city can expand our parking enforcement officers because we need it, obviously. That's a big quality, it's one of the biggest quality of life issues. As for the crime task force, Ed, I'm just going to talk to you offline about it, but it's not that they weren't always, there's always a crime unit out there. This is special, that's using overtime and asking patrol officers and sergeants to come in and do expansive overtime. And with that, there's going to be burnout, there's going to be time that they're allowed to work and when they're not allowed to work based on union contracts. So putting that together is more than just, it should always been done. They are always working out there, but this is special on top of all that. And I want to explain it to you further on that, just so you don't think that the police department has been sitting on their hands the whole time. They have not. It angers no one more than the chief of police and his captains and the rest of the brass of the police department. I can promise you that.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Caldwell?
Thank you, Madam President. I want to say that my prayers is going out to the firefighter that was hurt at 125 Gessner Street. And I want to thank DPW because they're always helping my neighbors out, helping me out. And I also want to say congratulations to Captain Gunther on your 18 years. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Again, congratulations, Captain. What a way to spend your anniversary at a council meeting this evening, and I'd like to also acknowledge Mr. Sporer on his promotion. Nobody knew who you were till Mayor said, that's Bocce. Congratulations again. Okay, the next council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting, Monday, August 14th, at 6 p.m. in the council conference room in City Hall. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, August 15th at 6 p.m. in the council conference room in City Hall. Council meeting Tuesday, August 15th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. These meetings will be held in person. Can we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano? Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.